Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Spirit Bubble with Kara.
And Alma.
Yes, it's been probably maybe a week and a half or two. How long has it
Yes,
been?
I think it's been about that. Time is always a little woo with me, so it's hard to say.
I know, right? Well, the thing is in our lives, it just seems like so much happens when we're not expecting it to.
I know, right? It's just everything comes at you at once and it just you just get through it, right? You know?
Oh, oh yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, I guess it's that's kind of basically to say, today we want to share with you guys about how, when you're going through these trials and tribulations in life that seem just to halt everything and it just ruins your mood or it holds your mind back from your days back from what they could be or what you hoped could be, you have to carry, and we have discussed this before in our basics, trust.
Yes. Yes, trust is a huge thing to have because it's it's that thing that carries you through your moments. It's that glass half full, glass half empty kind of thing. If you
Mm-hmm.
have it, you've got something to carry you through your moments. If you don't, then maybe you don't have something that's as graceful to carry you through your moments. So it's that trust is something definitely to lean into to get you
Right.
through your moments.
Right. But the difference between today's topic of trust and the one you may have seen before, before we discussed having trust in, I guess, your faith, having faith, trust in everything, your journey, right? Well, today we're more so discussing having trust in everything that's happening to you in the middle of it all. Like Alma, I know you've had a situation that you've been putting a great amount of trust into right now.
Right. Actually, yes. Just recently we had our kitten. She fell ill. She swallowed a little bit of Easter grass. And
Oh,
we couldn't afford the emergency vet clinic bill to check and make sure that she was okay. So, we had to put our trust that everything was going to be okay or not be okay. Really, we couldn't know what was going to be. Everything was going to be as it was going to be, and we just had to take our steps to get through the moments as best as we possibly could. And, have faith that everything was going to work out as it was going to work out regardless. And just
mm-hmm.
trust that no matter what, we were going to be okay.
Right,
Whether that was however things turned out for the
right,
best, with the life turning out okay, or if it turned out not so okay, right?
right, right,
And and so it was it was having that faith that we were going to be okay through it that made getting through the motions of life that much easier, right? Because we it's you can't know what life is going to throw at you. You just can't.
oh no,
The details of the day are always going to shake up and whip something at you to go through. So like,
yeah,
ultimately, if you have that security in yourself, in life, in the universe, in whatever you put your faith in, that you're going to survive it, it gives you that stability to get through your moments and trust that, no matter what, you'll survive it. And that's what I had going through this. That,
right,
even should the worst come, I was going to survive it. And that gave me the endurance to get through the hardship of watching a cat get sick every hour and not
oh,
know if she was going to make it, right?
right.
It it wasn't the easiest moments, but we made it through.
Right, right. And when we stop trusting in the situation to resolve in the best way it's possible, we find ourselves worrying about all the outcomes instead of taking care of what's presently happening in the moment, and that worry, it can raise your blood pressure, it can hurt your heart, it can just bother you, it can bog you down so much mentally that now everything else around you that's happening is not getting taken care of, which only makes the situation worse.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So, when it comes to facing these struggles, sometimes if it's something that's not in your control, if it's something that you really have no hold over to make a choice about, sometimes just simply deciding to trust in the situation for what it is, for what it's leading to, and what it will be in the end of it, knowing that it's best for you in some way or another, that can be an excellent way of relieving the stress of these situations that pop up in your life.
Oh, that's such a great point, that trusting that there's a purpose behind what you're going through. That is a great way to find that trust in the situation, because, you know, that's that meaning, that purpose that gives you that strength to endure, to get through
Yeah.
it. And that's such a great point that you make.
Well, like we've even had our own potential situation pop up too. And like my boyfriend, he asks me, sometimes I wish I could be more like you. And we're like, how do you not worry about something? How do you not worry about these kind of things? How can you just go through so calmly and not like freak out about everything? And that's when I had to break down and talking about like, you know, you have to focus on what's happening around you and you can control, because there's so many elements outside of that. Why burden ourselves with worrying about the outcomes of those elements that we can't handle? Why? It's
Absolutely.
such a burden on your mind. And I know it's so much easier said than it is done, because it's a mindset that is acquired through practice, through changing the way that you think. But once you reach that state of ability to handle those stressful situations like that, you know how much lighter it makes these things in your day to day process of handling it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I like that you said that it's something that you practice. It's not just a flip that you switch, or a switch that you flip.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, you can't
it's some
just
Yeah,
go.
you can't just one day on you have it, and all of a sudden you can do it. It's just something that you have to work at and practice, and then eventually you'll see that you have it. And so come at it with the mindset that it's something that you're going to have to work at to get there.
Mm,
And so in time it's something that you'll achieve. So know that it's it's something, it's a lifelong goal, an achievement that's going to change the life that you lead once you
right.
make the choice to start practicing this, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. It's like, let's say, for example, with the kitten situation. What if, and I would never actually want to wish this, but like in the positive thinking, what if it turned out to be something that was going to be more of a struggle by continuing on the life? And what if say the kitten had died, right? But you found out it was going to be something more painful than just simply consuming a piece of Easter straw, Then, in a
Mhm.
sense, you know that the situation is okay because you're really more so cutting that suffering.
Right. Right. Absolutely. It
Yeah.
is. And so that the life, while it's hard to lose a life,
Yeah.
you know, it in the end, you take solace in the life that you had. You take the lessons from the moments that you've had, and you wrap your soul around those lessons that you learn in that moment.
Yeah.
So for me, like spending right now in this moment, what would I learn from losing that life then? Well, it would be that you had that love, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that moment. And so you would grow from that and go from there. I think
Right.
that would be what I would try to learn from the loss of life if that would have been the turn that it would have taken. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's always something to learn, to grow from, no matter what you're going through. And so that's I think that's the lesson that, even if the worst comes and it's something that you can't imagine going through, it's okay. You're going to get through it. Just
Mm.
know that something can come from it, and give yourself that opportunity to learn what can come from it. Give yourself that chance to get through to that something, right?
Right.
And trust that you're going to get there, because it's coming. You just got to get there.
Right. And another thing, I've mentioned it before, but it's still pretty relevant to, what we're discussing now, is that in that light of seeing things are going to be okay, trusting that it's going to be okay, all the struggles that we are given through life, it's to make us stronger. It's to teach us. And if anything, if only just one thing that you can take from telling yourself that this situation is going to be okay, we're going to get through this, everything's going to work out, is that when you get past that struggle, it's going to make you stronger. And that's where that it's going to be okay is. It's going to make you stronger against the situation. It's going to make you wiser against future happenings of the same, We become better people. So in that sense of trusting that things are going to be okay, we're trusting that we're coming out as better, stronger, wiser people in the end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better. You're coming out better in the end. And so that's where you can put your trust in.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What's going to happen is going to happen. And some of that, if not almost all of it, is not in our control. You know? How are we supposed to control a little kitten's response to something? How are we supposed to control, what somebody says to us, does to us? The best thing that we can control is our attitude about the situation. That's where we utilize that trust to be able to say, okay, you know what? This is a really hard situation, but I'm going to trust that everything's going to come out to the best result it can, even if it's not one that I was anticipating. There's going to be something positive out of this. Because remember, you cannot have positive without negative.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So really and truly, what we're really doing is we're really going through those trials that are leading us to that positive.
Absolutely. You're taking that negative, that hardship that you're going through, and you're turning it into something positive.
Mm-hmm. We're learning, we're adapting, we're becoming better versions of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yes. Like, do you ever have people like ask you, well, how can you be so happy all the time? How can you be so calm all the time? I don't know how you can do this. Like, do you ever have
Yes,
people?
all the time. Or they just don't believe that I'm that way all the time, you know?
Yeah.
So you,
Right.
you get that all the time. And it's just it's a choice, and it's a choice to see it that way. And
Hmm.
it's the journey, and it's the journey that shaped me into this, right? So, and it's something that I love to share with others. So like I I I just, oh goodness, I'm at a loss for words.
It's okay. Well, the thing is, it's just once you've reached that kind of state of thought, it's very hard for people who have not achieved it yet to really understand, you know, because they're still so grounded into the world's problems, into their life's problems, that it's hard to see that. Whereas if you have already reached that point and experienced that mindset, it's just something that sticks with you. It's like learning to ride a bike, right? You
Oh,
learned and you
yeah.
practiced and you nailed it down the first time. You're going to remember it for the rest of your life.
Yes, absolutely. You're not letting it go.
Right, right. Oh man, yeah. I get people tell me that like, man, my managers they kid around with me until they tell me I'm an alien, I'm a robot, I'm never mad, I'm never upset, I never cry, I never. I'm just thinking, guys, I do. You just don't see it because I just handle myself really good, you know.
Right?
Yeah. But I mean, like, if you guys are ever experiencing, you know, a rough time in life, and you just feel like it's not gonna ever end, if you feel like things are hopeless, nothing good is gonna come from anything. Tomorrow is just gonna bring another bad day. Tomorrow is just gonna be another struggle, you know, and it just feels like just life just keeps on tormenting you over and over and over. Just know that there's going to be an end to that, because after all of it, it molds and it shapes us into people who are stronger against those same situations. So when we face it again, we can handle it better, you know?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. You know, they say that history repeats itself, and in a way it kind of does. And I think it kind of repeats itself so we can do it better the next time. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not the same event that happens again, but it kind of repeats itself in a way that we remember how to do it better, and then we it shapes us into a better version of ourselves. So the
Right.
next time when it comes around, we do it even better, and then it keeps we learn how to be the best version of ourselves by
Yeah.
repeating the mistakes that came before, and just not doing them as badly as we did the last time,
Right.
you know.
Right. No matter what it is you're going through, just remind yourself that this is going to be okay. It's going to become okay. And no matter what the result comes out of it, it's one that's going to be for the better. Whether you can see it right away or not, it's something for the better. And to learn how to embrace that, to keep in that mindset as you keep facing these hurdles, that's really going to be able to help pull you through that situation. And when you can be strong, others see it and they start to be able to be strong too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So absolutely, if there is anything that you guys have maybe experienced that you're able to use this concept, something that taught you, maybe something that you survived that led you to realize this, we'd love to just discuss it with you. You know, leave us a comment. How do you handle your stress? What is your positive thought? You know, everything's going to be okay. We just keep on going forward and we just keep striving and we just keep trying to see the best of everything that we can. Even if it just seems so grim, there's something good to see.
Absolutely. Just keep on pushing, and you can get through it.
Yes. So let us know. Comment down below. Absolutely like, subscribe. We love hearing from you guys and we love responding to you guys. And until then, we will see you next time and have a great day.
Yes.